So welcome guys. So today we are at fourth session of Python class, and today we'll just going to learn what is a language. Okay, what is programming language? What is Python? What is the features of Python? Advantages and disadvantages of Python, and difference between client side and server side language. Okay, and okay, so there are two classes left for the introduction part of the Python. So today is the class of these advantages and disadvantages things, and for tomorrow that is the difference between the compiled and interpreted language for now. Then we will jump to the question answer section. Okay. Then from next class onwards, we will start installing Python, and then we will try doing some practicals. That actual practical things will work every day. We'll do practicals. Okay, of our remaining topics. Is that clear? So let's start from this one. Let me start from here. Okay. So before starting this one, okay, let's understand one thing first. What do you mean by language? Okay. So language means that is a something like someone should understand, right? Suppose we are like Odia people. Okay. Maybe we understand English, but some African guy will come and he will start saying us in African language. We might not understand. So only the Africa people can understand that African language. Similarly, maybe some other people are coming. Okay, Sri Lanka people are coming, so they are speaking in their language. Okay, so it's the language. It's built for them. Only their people can understand that. If we want to talk in their language, we have to learn that language. That is clear for everyone, I hope. Similarly, cricket is a language. Cricket also is a language. So cricket has some rules. Basically, each and every language has certain rules. So similarly, cricket, football, hockey, so they have all rules. And they are following that language, that means they are following their rules. If you will go to a soccer player, football player, and you will try to say something regarding cricket, he might not understand because he only knows the football rules. Similarly, we are learning Python, okay, because the computer understand only the machine codes. Computer doesn't understand the English. If you will say that, okay, so I want to add 5 plus 6, computer cannot interpret it or maybe cannot run it because computer doesn't understand the English language. Computer only understand his language. What is his language? What do you mean by computer? Computer means, so computer has different parts. Computer has mouse, CPU, which is called the brain of computer. Computer has a screen. Computer has RAM, ROM. So whenever I'm talking about computer can understand, that means I'm saying that CPU can understand your language. CPU cannot understand your language of your Odia language. CPU only understand, okay, the machine code, which is the binary codes. I think you have already done your BTech engineering, and also in your first semester, okay, this is what, okay, you guys are being taught. Like the computer, the CPU understand their language is called machine codes. Machine codes is the binary kind of hexacode kind of language. Okay, suppose 0 1 1 0 0 0 1. So that kind of things it understands. Okay, so similarly, Python is also a language. So Python is saying that we have a certain rules. In cricket, there are 2 3 rules are there, right? Only 11 players can play. Only 6 stumps can be there. 2 umpires would be there. There are some 2 strikers should be there. So similarly, football also have some rules. Similarly, Python also have some rule. What do you mean by rule? Python also has some syntax. Suppose you want to write a function. So they are saying if you are writing a function, then it has to start from def keyword, def. So if you will, instead of def, you can just give something like dir. Okay, that won't work because Python did not understand what you are trying to say. It will give you the syntax error. So similarly, we are learning Python. Why we are learning Python? just to execute our task in computer. Actually, I want to build the website. So this is our task, that somebody has given the task to me. Okay. And I cannot directly just tell the CPU just, okay, do one thing, you just build a website for me. So you will just take the help, okay, of some language. Right now, the field is like AI. AI is doing everything for you. Whenever you are saying about, okay, just give me a website, so he is building it for you because he understands what you are trying to say. But that doesn't mean behind the scenes he is using English also. No, behind the scenes he using Python language to build your websites and all. Are you getting my point? So similarly, whenever someone will ask you, so Python is a language. So this is serving our purpose to build different tasks. And Python, Python behind the scenes, what it is doing, it is converting, it is interpreting whatever your functions, classes, whatever you are building. So it is converting that to internally to some machine codes and all, but you don't need to worry about how this is getting generated. So that is a Python interpreter is there. In between, there is an interpreter is there. Okay, there is a dedicated class for what is the difference between compiler and interpreter, that I will let you know. Don't worry about that now. Okay, tomorrow I will just tell you. Are you getting my point? Okay, so now, but if somebody will ask you, then why Python? Why not other language? Why we should not learn C, C++? Why we should learn Python? So I'm not discussing about, okay, Python is used in this many fields. Python is giving me 1 crore package. I'm not talking about that thing. I'm talking about what is Python. I'm not talking about if you will learn Python, then what you will become. That I have already taught in the first class, second class also. Here I am talking about what is Python, what is the features of Python. What is Python? Okay. Python is a high level language, first thing. Okay. High level programming language means that is closer to human language, further from machine language. It is designed to be easy for humans to read, write, and understand, abstracting away most of the complex hardware level operations. So I hope you guys are understanding what it is saying. So it is closer to human language. Here, this is a Python code. This is a if block statement. Right? If x greater than 25, then print my age is greater than 25. Now, if I will type else print, okay, my age is less than 25. So this is human readable language. Okay. So you are understanding that is saying if, so if is the English word also. Okay. So if x greater than 25, print this, else this one. Okay. So this is the human readable language. So this is a high level language. Are you getting my point? And not only about I'm talking about if and else. There are a lot of other syntaxes are there which you can understand. This is not a machine code language or shell scripting language. Sometimes, okay, some languages are very difficult. Machine code language, suppose if you will be written something like this, binary, okay, what you will understand? You can't understand. So that's the reason Python is a high level language. Python is an interpreted language. Interpreted language means a programming language where code is executed line by line. Okay. So what happens here actually, I'm not going deep because there is a dedicated section for interpreted. Whenever you are just writing some code, okay, there are suppose 10 lines of codes are there. So one by one, just reads that sentence. If there is some syntax error, then immediately it will throw the error. But the Java and all, those are like compiled, okay, Java, C, C++, they are like compiled language. It will read everything, then it will give the compiled code, then it will just try to run it. But here, one by one, suppose you have written 5 lines of code. If in the second line of code, if it got some error, it will immediately throw the error. So it's an interpreted language executed line by line. Okay, at runtime, when it is running, then only it will just throw you the error. Okay, this allows you to easier debugging. Suppose I have a 1000 lines of code. Okay, at the 5th step, it is throwing me the error. That means you understood, okay, at the fifth, it is saying that line number 5, because of this reason, you are getting the error. So this is at a time only one error it will give you. So this is really easy to debug, to solve that issue. But it can be slower for the compiled languages than compiled language. It can be slower because it is line by line it is reading, so it can be slower. It is slow, bit slow. It's not like if Java is taking 1 hour, this is taking 30 minutes. Okay, bit slow than the compiled language. Tomorrow we will discuss. General purpose language. Okay, general purpose language to build any kind of software, not only one field of. I already told you. Okay, it is not only like web apps, data, and all. It made not just for one thing like web apps or data. Generally, all the problems in your mind, whatever AI, machine learning, data, web, already told you. Okay, this is used for build to any kind of problem solving things, right? Dynamically typed. Dynamical typed means what? You already have that experience to write some queries in C, C++, and Java and all. Whenever you are just writing, you have to give, okay, in Java, how you write? Int x is equal to 5. Okay, in string x is equal to hello. But here you don't need to write it. Because whenever you are just writing x is equal to 5, it understands that you are talking about an integer field. Here x is equal to hello and you are talking about a string field. So you did not tell Python that x is an integer string. So it is figured it out by itself. So this is dynamical typed. Multi-paradigm programming language. What do you mean by multi-paradigm? Okay, Python supports multiple ways to write the program. Okay, your concept is same, but you can write 2 or 3 ways. How? One is procedural programming. Procedural programming means one by one, one by one, one by one, you can write. Step by step. Simple script automation, it is used. Object oriented means what? You know, object oriented means we have polymorphism, that inheritance are there. Objects, like you can just suppose same kind of things you have to repeat it. So in that case, you can just create a class and you can inherit the same kind of things in your next class and also object oriented things, right? Functional programming, you are like you can use some kind of functions to write the same similar kind of queries. So unlike the C, so C doesn't have all these features. C doesn't have that object oriented function, all those things. Okay, it doesn't support in that in a better way. Okay, so it is only a C, only a procedural language. But here Python has all kind of systems are there. You can write the same thing in 2 or 3 different ways. Okay, so if you can see, this is a suppose what it is doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. What it is doing that, for n in numbers, it is just a for loop. Don't worry about anything. What is for, what is print, what is append, what is number, what is list, what is array. I am just giving an example. Your Python practical class has not started. Okay, what it is doing that? So it is taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The output will become 2, 4, 9, 16. Okay, 25. So same thing, you are, if you write it in object oriented classes, you will write it in, the answer is same here. This answer will be same, but the C, the way of writing it is different. Your functional programming, this is also your way of writing is different. Same thing. See, you can write it in this way also, you can write it in through lambda mapping function also. That is the reason this is called multi-paradigm language. Okay. Next, come to advantages of Python. Platform independent. If platform independent means, so C, C++, Java and all, so those are like compiled language. Compiled means what? Whenever you will just run that Java, so it will just, or maybe C, C++, it will create a binary executable file .exe file in your operating system. So whenever you will just take that exe file, that compiled file to some Mac operating system or Linux, it won't run because .exe file is only recognizable by the Windows. But this is why it is called platform independent, because you have written the Python program in only one operating suppose in Windows, that is python.py. Same Python code, you can take it to Linux, you can take it to Mac operating system, it will work. Because if only you have the Python is installed in your Microsoft, okay, the Linux and Apple OS, okay, iOS, so it will easily run. So there is no need to write it 2-3 times, okay, unlike C and C++, right? Are you getting my point? So this is platform independent. Once you have written the Python file, you can run it in any operating system. Automatically garbage collection. Garbage collection means whenever you are writing something, okay, so you are assigning some memory to it. Okay, so memory means what? Suppose you have assigned an integer field or maybe a string field. So sometimes what happens whenever your work is done, that memory is not clean. So now suppose if you're suppose what we are doing here, suppose you are now in our mobile, we are running 5 applications at a time. So sometimes we have to clean our that background jobs. Why? Because just to make it self free. So our mobile will run smoothly. Are you getting my point? So similarly, whenever you are doing some calculations, creating some that objects and also, it is always needed to clean your garbage. Okay, clean your memory. So language like Python and Java and built-in memory management via garbage collectors. You no need to remove them, okay, manually. Getting my point? Extensive standard library. It is comes with math, OS, data type, JSON. So it has like varieties of library which is helping Java, okay, and helping Python people who are learning Python is extremely easier to use that library. Community driven, I'm not telling you about because you know that maintained by PSF and all community. I already explained to you. Package management, okay, Pip, Kunda. See, installing the packages, okay, is really easy in Python. Sorry, yeah, it's in Python. But if you'll go to some other packages like Java and also manually you have to install, there is no package installer kind of the. Even I have worked in .NET also. It's very irritating and also sometimes it takes some time. But Python is just even 30 depends. Okay, package to package depends. Just pip install something, it will install something. Pip install this thing, it will install. Pip install that thing, it will install. So there are different package management tools are there which is helping us. Are you getting my point? A strong ecosystem. I told you what you mean by ecosystem. Okay, libraries for web, data science, machine learning. Okay, ease of use. It is very clean, readable syntax. Okay, like it is just like an English language. Okay, rapid development. Like people are working more for this developing new libraries and all. Versatility. I've already told you versatility in the first class. Integration friendly. It can interact with C, C++, Java, REST APIs. Okay, creating graphs. Okay, Python can integrate very seamlessly, easily rather than other languages. Used in AIML, open source and free. This is no licensing fee, widely available. Another thing is Python is open source. You no need to buy any license for that. Suppose your Microsoft Excels and all after 10 months or something, maybe 1 year, 2 year, it is just asking for your some license key, product key. Suppose you are going for the antivirus, it is after 1 year, it is saying that give 1,000 rupees. But Python is completely open source. There is no need to give any charge for learning that using that Python language. Wide adoption in industry used by Google, Facebook, Netflix, NASA, IBM, Dropbox, and all right. Disadvantages of Python. Performance. Actually, performance is actually slower than the compiled language like C++ and Java. Obviously, it will be a bit slower because why I am saying, see, Python, when if you run 100 times, so Python will interpret it 100 times. Okay, but the thing is, Java, it will be once it will be compiled once, so next run will be very fast because it is already translated. Okay, so it will be once Java code means once you run. Okay, next you will just take that compiled file and you will just run it. It will run automatically. It will no need to compile it again and again and again. Are you getting my point? But Python will every time it will just try to interpret that language. Don't worry about that thing. Why it is slower? In tomorrow class, I'll just explain you. Okay. So performance is slower. Mobile development. It is not that very good for Android and iOS apps and all because I have not seen any like Python is being used for front end of this mobile Android, because Android is for like I think Android is for Java, right? This is Java's application, right? So similarly, iOS, I think for iOS we're using Swift or some other language, not sure. Okay, so this is not that great for mobile development. Memory usage. Okay, so actually, it takes more memory than Java and other languages. Can you explain me why? Memory usage means, see, in Java we are saying that okay, int x is equal to 5. That means we are saying this is an integer field. We cannot add, see, integer field means I have given certain space to for that variable. Are you getting my point? What do you mean variable? Don't worry. Variable again is a technical term. I will go to the next session. Okay, practical lesson. I will tell you. Think about something. Suppose, okay, you have an apartment. Okay, in your apartment, so you have 10 blocks are there. So 10 cars will come, 10 blocks are there. So each block, so you can just put your car in your basement or maybe in your apartment, right? If I have, if I will do the 10 compartments, then only your parking vehicle will be easy. If I want to do any kind of 10 divisions, that is just a flat basement will be there. So have you seen like in your car's place, someone will just park your bike, in your bike's place somebody has parked the car. So in that case, what, suppose in a car's place if a single bike will be there, that means that car guy cannot just put their car into that field, because already a bike is taking that place actually. Yes or no? Because that is not your place is not organizedly it is not organizingly it is managed, right? Are you getting my point? So for that reason, so Python is a dynamic. So the next is a dynamic typing. What do you mean by dynamic typing? So when during that runtime only we are saying that x is equal to 5. Suppose during that runtime only I am saying okay, x is equal to x is an integer. Are you getting my point? So similarly, these Python's built-in structure like list, dictionary, those are flexible, but it just consumes more memory than the other languages. Getting my point? Dynamic typing, already I told you, no need to mention any integer and string before that. So because of that thing also, so it creates some problem. We sometimes you don't get what is that issue comes and all. Okay, type related works may go unnoticed, harder to debug in the large projects. Okay, threading limitations. I am just giving a simple example. What do you mean by threading? Threading means Python is not that great for that doing multiple tasks. Okay, doing multiple tasks in a single time, where Python is actually a hero in that field, the multi-threading. So Python has some limitations. At a time, only one kind of one parallel work it can do, because it's the limitation of Python. This rule, global interpreter lock, is there. Something that rule it is saying that it prevents multiple native threads from executing Python. Threading is the ability of a language to execute multiple flow in parallel. Okay. Not ideal for low level programming. Like suppose this is a completely high level language. Suppose your pointers, okay, CPU instruction, device and drivers. So this is not great for these kind of things. Okay. But C++ are like, they are good for that because you know these pointers and all. So this is not ideal for low level. So you understand, right? What do you mean by high level? What do you mean by low level? Low level means scripting language, automation, that where we're using some language. We are using some C is a completely like low level. You can say, okay, it's not a high level language. We can GUI development. Suppose a calculator app you are doing. Suppose you are a file explorer app. So these kind of things, this is not, Python is not used for that kind of jobs, right? Runtime errors. Since it is interpret dynamic type, box may appear during execution rather than compile time. So what it is happening actually, so whenever you are running it, it will throw the error. Okay, suppose it got some error, syntax error. So when you will run it, then only it will give you. But in compile time means once it will give the error at a time. Okay, so that is a positive thing also. That is a negative thing also. Okay. Security, like Java is more secure by design, especially for interpretation on. This thing I have already told you. Java is like strictly, so that Java language is very strict. They are completely saying that, okay, you are saying that public static void main. Understand, just writing a main function, you are saying that, okay, this is public, this is private, this is something else. Okay, this is integer, this is string. So you are like strictly you are managing that, the data types and all. But Python has nothing. Okay, so that is the reason Java is more secure. Okay, Python ecosystem already told you, no need to explain all this thing. Okay, now come to the next topic. What do you mean by front-end, back-end, database, and UI? So there are five languages are there. Five different types of different category languages are there. One is front-end, another is back-end, database, UI, and scripting. Front-end, you know, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript. Back-end means your Python, Java, Node.js, PHP, Go. Database means SQL, PL/SQL, MongoDB, all those. UI means HTML, CSS again, right? Scripting means your bash scripting, shell scripting, PowerShell scripting. Okay, so this is no need to explain you. So I have just written it because just to make you comfortable with this different category of languages, right? Whatever you are just studying right now. So front end means your user interaction. So whenever you try to access some app, so a user interface will come, right? A front end page will come. So that is for front end. Back end means whenever you are typing some, suppose you are just putting a form and you are submitting it. So after submitting, what is happening? It is just going to backend server, fetching the information and giving back to you. That is by backend. Database means all your information data is storing in database. Styling language. Suppose your submit button is blue color, see you just want to beautify it. So for that reason, I am just using the UI language, scripting language. Okay. So that's it. So what do you mean by client side and server side language? Client side, server side means kind of you can say front end and back end. Okay, so your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, those are client side language. Okay, so what it is, what example? Suppose you are ordering a pizza online. There are two sides of that process. Your side is you see and click in the browser. So you are just going to a suppose a Domino's pizza. Okay, so there is a their front end guys are there. Okay, that their receptionist is there. Who is taking order? He is there. He's taking the money from you. He just passing that order to the backend person. So whoever like the front end it is coming, so that is the client side, and the server side means in your like that where the main cooking is happening, right? So client side means your browser's world, your server side means your web server world. So think it as just like a front end and back end. Okay, so Python. So if you can see here, the Python actually use a framework like Django and Flask. Okay, Java has the framework of Spring and this. Okay, Node.js has JavaScript on the server. PHP has WordPress and all these languages are there. Ruby means Ruby and Rails are there. Are you getting my point? So how it works actually? What client is doing that? What server is doing that? Whenever you clicking a button in a browser, that is a client side JavaScript is doing that. Whenever you click on button, something is happening, right? Your browser sends an HTTP request to the server. Server means what? Your server, like your backend side. So your HTTP request reaches to your Python. Python just takes that code and just do the backend logic. Server processes your requested, talks to the database, runs logic, right? Then the server sends back the HTML data and JSON, right? Then your browser displays the new page, okay, updates the UI. Getting my point? So this is a very simple language. What do you mean by client side language? What is your server side language? So if you can see a location of this is in a user's browser, it happens, right? But when your browser submit has happened, then what is the next thing? It is going to the web server. Again, what do you mean by web server? This is again a chapter. Okay. Main role, user interface, interactivity, data processing, business logic, speed of response. This is instant will happen, but depends upon your server speed, network speed, because submitting button is fast, but the server means how it is, how complex is the logic and all that depends upon your server. Secret visibility, users cannot hide secrets. Okay, suppose your button is not working, so you can see it, your button is not working. But the thing is, server side problem. Suppose some problems is you are saying that server is down, but server is down because of the maintenance or because of the error, because of the issues. You don't know, right? So language means HTML says JavaScript are server side, Python, Java, PHP are the Sorry, HTML is JavaScript is client side, Python, Java, PHP, and all server side. Okay. So that's it for now. So you have got an understanding about what is language, why you should learn language, what is the features of Python, disadvantage, what is server side, client side, and what is front end and back end language. Hope this is clear. Let me stop sharing. Okay.